the FV4202, the Tier 10 British medium tank, which is probably one of the hardest tanks to get to grips with at Tier 10. And now, a lot of people have asked me, well, what's it really like and should I really get it? So I thought I'd do a video on it. Now I know a lot of people love it and a lot of people loathe it, so let's have a bit of a deeper look. Hello again everybody and welcome back to Fujit's Blitz, and today we're going to be looking at the FV4202, the British Tier 10 medium tank. Well, what can I say about this tank? It's a pretty difficult tank to understand and to master and to get to grips with generally, and a lot of people struggle with this tank. Now, a couple of things. In real life, this was a real tank, funnily enough. Okay, it was a prototype. There it is, sat in the warehouse at Bovington Tank Museum. It's basically a Centurion, with a few added bits that eventually led to the development of the Chieftain FV4201. But what's this tank actually like in Blitz? Because is it a true medium? Well, no, it's not. It's not a true medium tank. It's more of a light, to be perfectly honest with you. So here we are, rolling out our mines. Now, a couple of things about this tank. This tank has had a checkered history when it comes to wargaming. It's been tinkered with, it's had its ammunition nerfed and buffed and nerfed and buffed and changed, and the guns have changed and this is changed, and it's had a bit of a poor run, to be perfectly honest with you. And it's not as good as it used to be, but it's still pretty formidable if you know how to use it. So I'm rolling out here in the lower tier X gun, which is the heat gun. Now, the reason I'm doing that is because I actually prefer the heat gun rather than the HESH gun. Although before they nerfed the ammunition, I preferred the HESH gun over the heat gun. The reason being, the heat gun has got better penetration but lower damage. The HESH nowadays doesn't always pen because it's a HESH round. And I just find it's much easier to get on with and much more forgiving with the heat round. A couple of other things about this tank. It is definitely not a frontline tank. Okay, it's got pretty good armor on the turret and the front glacis plate, and it's got spaced armor by the tracks, but that's about it. The mobility, it's not bad, but it's not great. It's not Leopard 1 mobility. And, you know, a lot of things are going to pen you if you put it in the wrong position. The gun, however, is pretty accurate. Okay, it doesn't pen everything. You will tend to bounce a lot of shots on this gun. The APCR has got a 255 pen, and it dishes out an alpha of 350, which isn't bad, to be honest with you, if you can get it to pen. The heat, on the other hand, will knock out 300 pen and will also do damage of about 300. The DPM with the heat gun, unfortunately, drops to 2,813, whereas if you have the APCR, it's 3,282, which isn't that bad. But as I said, this is not a frontline tank. This is a support tank. This tank needs to be played pretty much like the Leopard 1. In other words, don't go yollowing in it, because you're going to go back to the hangar before you absolutely realize anything. Whatever advantages does this gun have? Well, it's got fantastic gun depression because it's a British tank, which means the gun depression is actually riding at 10 degrees. Allows you to park your butt down a hill like this and just plop away with your gun depression. It's that simple. Now, the camo values on this, it's okay, it's not great. I don't run it with a camo net. I do run it, however, with calibrated shells and all the other sort of stuff. And all my crew have got as many bars of chocolate and cups of tea that you can possibly think of. And as you can see here, we've done 3,103 damage. We're not setting the world on fire. We've taken 2 kills, and you know, we did pretty well. We lost a fair amount of credits because we used our heat rounds, because unfortunately you need to on occasion. And we get a 2nd class and a shed load of ribbons, which is always nice. We did 2 kills, one of which was an ammo rack, which always makes my day, because who doesn't like ammo racks? I know I do. And we were the 2nd highest damage machine there, which is always nice. Now, I'm rolling out here with the other gun, and I've purposely decided only to fire Hesh. I know that stuff, but it's for the review purposes to show you how Hesh actually works. So here we are on Naval Frontier, and there's a Jag Tiger up there. Load the Hesh, stick it into the front, and you see you get 440 roll. Now that's not bad. I mean, the top alpha on the Hesh is 440, and we get another 431 into the front of the Jag Tiger. So you know, once you pen, you can do it. Now I'm just going to hit Hesh here, and I'm always going to get it because he's only on 56 hit points. So the Hesh round, if you've got it in the right position, will pen. I mean, it's got a penetration value of 210. So it's lower than the APCR, and as you can see there, we get a 500. Okay, we have the crew skills flashing away there, which allows us to get that much damage. But as you can see, when you're targeting in, a lot of the tank is hidden. It's either red or it's orange, and it's very, you know, if you aim for these lower glacis plates with the Hesh round, then yes, you're going to get the pen. If you can't get, then as you've seen, a lot of the tank is bright red or orange, which means you're only going to really do splash damage on the orange. So here we are against the Jaeger room. We bounce that because, as I said, the turret is pretty tough. There we go with the lower glacis plate, get another 434. Now you can see most of him's red. I'm going to try and get it up there, and he angles, so only gets splash damage at 26, which is annoying. The Hesh round, however, DPM is 4,125, but as I said, it's a difficult ammunition to play with. We get a 3rd class there, we kill 1 tank, and we only do shy of 2,000 damage, which isn't the best. So I then changed back to the heat gun, which in my opinion I think is a better gun. Okay, it hasn't got the DPM value and it hasn't got a 440 roll, but when you're rolling out 300 and you can switch it back to APCR, and APCR on the Hesh round, by the way, is no different. It's the APCR on both guns is exactly the same, 350 with a penetration of 255. The only difference between the two is the Hesh and the heat. Okay, and as I say, I actually prefer the heat because you can do things like that. The heat will penetrate. Okay, you get less damage, but the heat rounds will pen. They very, very rarely bounce. And that to me is a massive difference, because if you want to go out on the battlefield and just cause, you know, have 400 rolls but bounce a load of shots, then that's up to you. I personally prefer to go out on the battlefield, roll 300 shots and pen everything, because it's just an easier game for me. So here I am again, now fighting with another FV, and you get 310. So you will pen with the heat. I find it a better gun, and it's up to you though, guys. I mean, I think it's advisable to take the heat gun rather than the Hesh gun, but hey. So, as you can see, use the gun depression to its advantage. With the heat round, you'll pen everything. Keep it hull down if you can, and you know, it's a good tank to play with. Now, I absolutely used to hate this tank. I really did. I absolutely hated it. I thought it was awful. It was just so difficult to get on with, and it's still not an easy tank. But once you understand that it's not frontline, it's not a true medium in the strictest sense of the word, and that you have to play it slightly like a Leo without the spotting part, then you start to understand the mechanics of this tank and how you really should be using it. And as you can see there, the APCR's pen is pretty bad. You know, right close to that T-57, not hitting him. Now he's side on, so I can get him. And you get a nice 294 roll. Now, however, I'm starting to love this tank, because now you can understand it for what it's worth. And it's gun depression, it's firing from a distance, it's supporting, it's peaking and booming, and that is how this tank, in my opinion, should be played. If you rush up to the front line, you're not going to last very long. your armor isn't that great at this tier. You're pretty thin, and you'll get damaged. And we get a nice 372 roll there into the Death Star, which I believe was AFK. So we did 3,565 there, bounce 400, get another second class. This time we get some credits, which is always nice. We're the top tank because we got 3 kills, and that was a better rollout. So here I am again, this time on Supremacy, and I've still got the heat gun loaded up rather than the hash. And I'm still running it with calibrated shells and all the yin-yang, and, you know, my crew is getting fat on tea and chocolate. And you know, wouldn't you, now I'm starting to understand how this tank really should be. You need to have it in cover, you need to peek in boom, and boy, you will have fun in it. I know I do now. I'm no longer sat there thinking, oh God, I've got to take the FV4202 out again, and it's a horrible tank. Because look, you'll bounce. Okay, you're not doing oodles of massive amounts of damage at tier 10, but you're penning, and your reload time is only 7 seconds, which is pretty good at this tier. You've got a pretty accurate gun, to be honest with you. Okay, you're gonna have to spend a bit of cash, credit-wise, on heat ammunition, but you know, at the end of the day, the idea of tier 10, you're never going to really make that much money. And then you can do shots like that. You can take out a tank, do 527 damage, bounce 350. Okay, it's not the best game in the world. You can cap, and you know, this is why this tank is now fun for me. I now no longer play it like a true medium tank. I now play it as a mix between a light and a medium. A light as in a support role, not as in a spotting role, and a medium as in that second line, getting into the battle when you need to, but not at the point. We get a great engine fire there on the Grilly, which gives us a load of damage. Now we're up to 1,730, bounce 350. You know, we've lost a little bit of hit points here, but that's not a big deal for this tank. And you know, I'm driving around still looking for this cover to get it hauled down. There's a tortoise, he's going to knock one into me, I'm going to knock one into him. Get a nice roll with the APCR. There's a T57 Heavy over there, trying to keep this all down. Nice bounce from the T57 Heavy. It's, you know, they're in trouble, the red team. There's only 3 of them left, bless them, and 2 of them are TDs, so they're going to be swamped eventually. The T57 is probably one of our biggest concerns, but now don't. You know, but he seems to have given up the ghost. And the tortoise is going to show me face on, get an APCR straight to the side of him. We've now done 2,500 damage. The Jagaroo, well, now take one into him, but then I'm not interested in him. He's surrounded by all my other team, so they'll take him out, and that leaves me time to go up and try and deal with this 57 Heavy. So, put one into his tracks. Unfortunately, we don't track him. He's totally not interested in me. I'll just spin around him, get to the back, and stick one up his rear with an APCR. And there you go. Index. 3,767 damage, bounce 750, killed 4 tanks. What more could you ask for? We get a nice first class, we earn some credits, we're the top tank, we did okay. And that's why I'm starting to love this tank, because that's how I think you should be playing it. Now, I'm going to shove in a few at the end to show you how the tank brawls, because as a brawler, it's actually pretty good. So here I am up against a Foch, and unbeknownst to me, there's a VK45 right next to the Foch. So now I'm against 2 tanks, and there's not much I can do against the VK at the moment. So what I'm trying to do here is get this Foch in between me and the VK. So I'm going to stick one into his back, get a nice roll, and now try and get side onto the Foch before the VK can get one into me. And the mobility of this tank allows you to do this. It really does. So now the VK has no shot on me. I've still got shots on the Foch, and the Foch realistically doesn't have a shot on me. And what I'm trying to do is keep that Foch in between me and the VK. I sort of miss it out there, but I know the VK is going to get one into me, but I know the Foch isn't loaded fully yet. Can I get round before the VK is going to put one into my son? No, he's not. He doesn't. I managed to get the Foch between me and the VK again. That prevents the VK from hitting me. I'm trying to stay close to this Foch, trying to eliminate the VK. I totally misread it there. That allows the VK to get a big roll into me. But now I know he's on a long reload, so that gives me a bit of time. Unfortunately, I bounce there on the Foch because I'm not zoomed in. I'm not looking, but I'm going to try and keep this Foch between me and the VK. I was hoping at this stage, by the way, that some of my team would come down to help me out, but they clearly don't want to. Now I'm going to make sure that I can definitely pen the Foch. You can see there the VK is firmly fixated on me. I want to pen this Foch. I'm going to try and follow him round. I pen him. I only do 200 odd damage. Now I'm going up the hill. The VK is still trying to turn his turret. I may get another round into the Foch before the VK gets one into me. I think he's still on a reload. Now I want to try and get between the VK and the Foch, knowing that the VK's got a longer turret turn. That I managed to do. Totally takes out the VK again. The Foch is still trying to turn. I stick one into the VK. The Foch is still trying to turn. The VK's unfortunately now got his turret onto me, so he's going to get another one into me. I'm desperately trying to get to the side of this Foch again. The VK puts another 400 in, so the VK's knocked 800 out of me. The Foch, however, hasn't done any damage to me at all. Now I've managed to get the Foch in between me and the VK again, and this is what you can do in this tank, guys. And this is why I love this tank now. So that's the FV4202. And as I said, once you get to understand it, it will be your best friend. Until then, however, it will be your biggest foe. And a lot of people really do struggle in this tank. Anyway, guys, by all means, comment below. Tell us how you play this tank. Tell us what you love about it. Tell us what you hate about it. Again, send me your replays. Show us how you play the FV4202, because it's not an easy tank. It is technically a difficult tank to play. But once you understand it, it's a beautiful tank to play. The other thing I'd like to ask, guys, I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers by Christmas. So if you feel like subscribing, please do. If I can reach that first milestone, I will be happy. It'll be the best Christmas present. Anyway, until then, stay safe out there. Have fun on the battlefield and happy tanking. Because, guys, that's what it's all about. Having fun and being happy. Hey, I've been Fuji and you've been great. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it. And I'd love if you would press subscribe. Who knows, we can do some more. By all means, drop me comments. Tell me what can be improved and tell me what you'd like to see. I really love to know. Anyway, until the next time, guys, happy tanking.